All right. So getting ready for the big game coming up this next week. I'm gonna be making a couple of different wing sauces. I am making all these sauces from scratch. I've kind of adapted some recipes, but today we'll be making a spicy barbecue. Got a little upset when Buffalo Wild Wings got rid of their spicy barbecue, so I'm gonna make my own. So as you know, if you're making your own barbecue sauce, you gotta start off with a base, which is ketchup. We're making spicy barbecue, so why not use the best ketchup ever made, which is spicy Whataburger ketchup. From there, to add some smokiness, we'll have some chipotle peppers. To add a little more spice, we'll have a serrano pepper. Onion will help out the base. Some acidity with the apple cider vinegar. And some more sweetness with the dark corn syrup. Thicken it up, give it the nice consistency you're going to want and need. Smoked paprika for a little more smokiness. And we'll also need a little more sweetness with the brown sugar. And sweetness with the butter, and the butter also help out, just kind of thin it out towards the end. We'll add what is needed. All right, now once you've chopped the onion, I did half of that large onion. We're just gonna add it right into this pan. And what we wanna do is get the onion and the serrano pepper nice and soft. So we'll just be stirring that up until they soften up, and then we'll add everything else to make the sauce. So one thing I did off camera was I added a little bit of salt, and as you can see, that kind of starts making the onions and the peppers sweat a little bit. Most of the onion, get some of those juices out. So now I'm going to start adding some acidity, add to the base. We've got our lemon. I'm using half of a lemon, get a little bit of acidity. And we'll get the apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna do a capful. I don't measure a lot, you're gonna see that. I just kind of throw it in. We'll do 2 capfuls. It also depends on how much you're actually gonna make. Again, I don't measure this stuff out, so just kind of go by feel. I've made this stuff before, so that's about, a cup. That's about 2 cups. And we're just going to stir this in, mix it up, like I said, start building that base. Kind of turn it down to low heat, medium heat from here. We're going to add some smoked paprika. Again, I don't measure, just add as needed. And then, again, for some of our smokiness, like I mentioned, some of these adobo peppers. I'm just gonna add, I don't want a whole lot of these because this stuff is, that chipotle is in there. It's been sitting there and I don't want that flavor to overpower the whole sauce. So we'll just do 2 of those peppers. Again, this is gonna be blended up, so I don't really need to chop them up right now. And this isn't quite looking like as much sauce as I want, so I'm gonna probably throw in a little more ketchup. There we go. It's about 3/4 of this Whataburger spicy ketchup here. And once we start seeing it bubble a little bit, I've been stirring it here and there. We're going to add some brown sugar in here. It's going to help kind of thicken it up a little bit. Add some of the sweetness to it. The thing with that serrano, if you didn't notice, I had taken I did not de-seed those, so that was, the seeds are in there intentionally. Again, we want this to be a spicy barbecue sauce. Continue to stir, don't let it sit too long. And we'll be adding some of this corn syrup. This is something that I'm going to measure, because I don't trust the thickness of this. This is a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup. So about half of this, if my math is correct, that would be a 1/4 cup. I'm going to pour that in. Like I said, we're going to continue to stir. Once this is all, what we're doing here is just kind of combining all these flavors before we blend it all up. So we're just adding layer on layer. We start with the onion, the pepper, the ketchup, the smoked paprika, the chipotle peppers, the brown sugar, and now the corn syrup. Again, it's just going to kind of add to the consistency that we're going for. We'll blend this up here in a second. All right, so here I've got the nice Ninja blender all set up. We're going to pour all this in. There we go. Start it up, and then we're going to blend. So I let that blend for about a minute, and what I did here was I add a little bit of water to the pan here, get some of this stuff off the side. I saw I was missing some onion and peppers in there, just to get that all the stuff out of there. And then also add a little more liquid to the mix. So we're gonna blend this up for about another minute on medium until it gets to the consistency I like. All right, so that's been going for about a minute. Let's go ahead and see what we got a smell of here. I forgot the serrano peppers in there. Oh, bad idea. Do not smell that. Oh, it's spicy. It's gonna be spicy. All right, now that my nostrils have cleared out, we're gonna go ahead and pour this back in to our pan. We're gonna continue to heat it back up. I'm gonna add a little more corn syrup to this just to get the color I'm looking for, but man, that stuff is gonna be spicy. I can tell you already. I already know it's gonna be. I can smell the spice. That spicy ketchup, I think, is really kicking it up a notch. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna add a little more of the corn syrup. I want a little more darkness to it. Some people use molasses on their barbecue sauces. I just do not like using molasses, so I use dark corn syrup. Might not be the best substitute, but it's worked before for me. And again, it's just about getting the volume right. You can add any more liquids right now to get to the consistency you want. Like I said, we'll add some butter here at the end just for a little bit of sweetness. Take a little test here, a little finger lick. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so it's getting about to the consistency that I want. What I'm looking for is sticking to the spoon just slightly. You see how it's not water. I want it a little bit thicker than that. So I'm gonna add a little bit more corn syrup. As you saw on my other hand, I'm gonna add a little more smoked paprika. I took another finger lick off camera. And I just want a little bit more smokiness, but not enough to add another pepper, and I don't want to have to blend it up again as well. So this smoked paprika should get us to the smokiness that I want. As you see that color change, that's about the color I'm looking for. Again, if I measured stuff, it'd be a lot easier because I would have just added that much corn syrup to begin with. But you know, this is cooking, and this is how I cook, and it's done well for me in the past. So I'm gonna continue doing it the way I do it. Oh, look at that. Thickened up just a little more. But I think that's about where I want it. Bring it back up to a little bit of a boil just so we can make sure all those flavors are combined. Oh, I almost forgot I was gonna add a little bit of butter. We'll do about a tablespoon, just a little bit. There it is. There we go. Just gonna watch that butter melt in there. See the color change on it. Oh yeah, she getting thick, boy. Oh yeah.
If you would like to see how I prepared these wings more in depth, feel free to watch any of my other 2 big game wing sauce videos. In those videos, I show how the wings were prepared to get onto the grill. But a quick rundown: prepared the chicken wings, made a spice rub of my own of salt, pepper, cayenne, and garlic, and smoked paprika. Put them on the Traeger for about an hour at 225 to get a good amount of smoke on them. Turn them up to 300 for the next 45 minutes. Finished them off, and as you see, I'm taking them off here and getting them ready to be sauced in.
All right, now that the chicken is all done off the grill, I've got my 3 sauces that I've made all sitting to the side. Take a couple, what you want, depending on what you're serving, how you're serving. Spin these up. I've got my spicy barbecue right here. We're gonna pour a little bit on there into the bowl without making a mess like I did. And spin them. I want to stick a little bit. Toss them around with the sauce. And you are good to go.